everyone. Welcome to Impossible to Say. My name is Emily Proctor.
And my name is Kat Wellington. This is our first YouTube video ever. Well, first video episode ever. So if you're just finding us, welcome. And if you've been here
Yay.
we've been doing this for years. If you've been here the whole time and you're on audio, good to see you again, y'all.
It's
Good
really
to, good to hear
convenient.
us.
Good to hear. It's good to see y'all. Really convenient for us to do our first YouTube episode after I haven't washed my hair in like 10 days. So hope you guys don't mind.
Okay, well, I feel horrible because I got kind of like glammed down for this
Yeah,
one.
I was
Glammed
gonna
up.
say, Kat and I were testing our mics earlier, and she had her like big Apple headphones in and her like luscious waves. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I feel horrible. I have to
No,
go to
it's
something
fine.
after this, so I was like, I guess like I might as well at least show up and look normal. But then again, like I was sitting like this and I was like, I have to put a pillow over my lap, so that's why that is existing right here on this space of my body.
That's completely fine. I guess I'll just have to readjust my hair washing schedule with the podcast now instead of going out, you know?
I mean, I feel like the girls accept us for who we are here, so I'm not
Mhm.
too worried about it. I did wash my hair this week. It's just like freshly washed it just happened by chance. So, here we are.
Well, I'm really happy for you. You guys, it's been so long. I feel
I
awful
know.
about it, but I'm so glad to be back.
I do feel horrible. Obviously, unprecedented events happened that caused us to skip the last 2 weeks, which we don't do, and we like to keep a normal schedule. So I do feel bad. Just know that whenever that happens, Emily and I feel worse than you. That's not true, but like we don't feel good.
Terrible. I mean, it makes us sick to our stomach, obviously. It was just really unlucky timing, obviously, going through like a crazy event like the election that was inconvenient, and then, unfortunately, we had some difficulties last week, so it was just bad timing back to back, but we're back, so it's fine.
Yeah, anyway, so we were going through it for a second. And then obviously we're horrible at technology, which is why this took us years to do, and it's still really like a mid-ass quality setup. But like, hey, we wanted to add an extra layer of video content, so here we are.
If you guys could see the layup? Setup? Layout.
The
Setup
layout
and
and setup.
layout
The
that I
layup.
have right now, it literally looks like I'm, like, on a casting couch, for an adult website, so but it's fine. I love it, it's
Yeah.
cozy.
So Emily is in her childhood bedroom in her parents' basement,
Mhm.
because that is like the place that is best for her to film right now. And it is kind of just like a mattress on the floor with a tripod with a camera pointing at it. So it is really beautiful. And if you do decide to take that career path, you know you have the perfect space. I don't know if your parents would mind, but
I will take, a photo because I do wanna post it on the Instagram because I think it's fucking hilarious. I've got the laptop up on, like, a couple different boxes on,
uh-huh.
like, some random ass nightstand that I found down here in, like, a storage room, so
Yeah,
yay.
mine is also on two stacked cardboard boxes. So the budget is low, but the spirits are high, and that's what we have to bring. How are you, Emily? Mental, physical check-in.
Um, I'm good. I'm fine. I feel like we've been talking about this so much over the last like month, how we especially like with you and like October 1st and like getting back to like, healthy habits and a healthy
Right.
routine.
Mhm.
Um, I have decided to do the horrible thing of counting my calories again. Don't want to
No, I
trigger
hate when you do
I
that.
don't want to trigger anyone. Unfortunately, like it is one of the only things that truly works for me and keeps me like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, keeps me strict in, like, what I'm eating. It sucks. It's terrible.
Discipline.
Yeah, it keeps me disciplined, thank you. It is truly, like, the only thing that works because I am having a really tough time, like, working out, moving my body. It gets so dark so early. I can't get out of bed before, like, 8:30 in the morning, so if I'm not gonna work out, the least I can do is just kinda watch what I'm eating because I feel like shit right now, transparently.
Okay, yeah, I feel horrible too, but I can't do that. So
That's fine. That's
the good
completely
news is,
fine.
okay, and if you're finding us on YouTube for the first time, which I don't imagine there's gonna be that many people here,
Mm.
but if you are Emily is in Maryland, which is where we grew up together, and I live in LA, and I will say, I know it's been, like, warmer there. My house, when I woke up this morning, 57 degrees.
How did you let it get like that?
It just get I only have heat downstairs. It doesn't like the heat doesn't just come upstairs. It's literally in one room. It's like a super old my heat makes the craziest noises in my house. It's so funny. Um,
My
and it, like,
god.
kind of works, but I don't like to run it all night because it's fucking expensive. I'm like, you know how I think recently in an episode we talked about how, like, our parents were so cheap with utilities and stuff growing up, and now that's me. So
That's insane because when Kat and I used to live in Baltimore, I definitely talked about this the last time we talked about utilities, but Kat would carry around, like, a heater with her, like, throughout the house
I
because
have
she
a
was
heater. I got a heater.
no
Um,
good.
my next step is to get a heated blanket, but the only thing about this heat here is it like there's something about it that scares me. Like it's so old. It's a big thing. I've never seen anything like it, honestly. Like it's this huge metal box on the wall that just makes these like huge, like crazy noises. And I'm like, in my mind, it's gonna burn the house down. One, that's
Mhm.
kind of why I don't like to keep it on at night, which I'm sure it's fine. But also, like, to me, that sounds like it's working overtime and it's gonna be like $1,000,000 fucking dollars.
$1,000,000 or I was thinking, like, gonna explode or something
No,
like
that's what
that.
I mean. Like, one, it's gonna
Yeah.
explode and I die, and two, I'll have to pay hundreds of dollars for it to explode and die
Well,
and
I
kill me.
guarantee you, you're not the first person that's lived in that house to run the heat, so I'm sure you're gonna be fine.
No, I know it's fine. I do have it well, then I have the other fear of, like, I only have a heater. This is bad, but Emily's dad's a firefighter as well, so she can tell me this is bad. But like, I don't have an outlet close enough to my bed for my heater, so it has to go in an extension cord, so I can't use it. And I did sleep with it on a couple nights, and then I like had a it just clicked that I was like, wait, this heater's plugged into an extension cord. And this is like, you know how sometimes you have extension cords passed down from generation to generation? This is an
Mhm.
old one. Like this is generational wealth. Like it's been passed down from my parents, from their parents to me. And
Family heirloom extension cords.
yes, like extension cords are just something you acquire. Like you're not supposed to buy them, they're supposed to find you. And this one is just so old and like you know when the outlet is like a circle and it's really old,
Mhm.
that's like the
Mhm.
vibes. And I was like, this is gonna kill me. And at least I'll be warm and comfortable when I go out, but it's not worth it.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing that you could do. I thought you were gonna say, like, it was, like, covered by your bed, it was, like, an outlet behind the wall that was, like, covered with your sheets or your mattress or something. That's not terrible. Not
It's not
great.
terrible, but then like I looked at the little tag, like the warning tag, and the first thing is like absolutely do not use an extension cord with an extension cord. And I
Yeah.
imagine there's some substance to that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so let's stop and maybe just try your heater. I think you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, no,
57 degrees is crazy.
it's on right now. I turn it on when I come downstairs. I
Okay,
just
perfect.
it's something about running it all night when it doesn't work upstairs. But like last
Oh.
night, I went to Disney World or sorry, Disneyland, pardon me, yesterday and got home and all I wanted to do was like lay in bed and play on my iPad, which I obviously made it
Mhm.
work. But my hands were so cold and my iPad was freezing. So I'm fully under the blankets and like full sweats and my hands were freezing cold, but I had to play on my iPad. So I just my
Obviously.
hands had to freeze. But that was okay. I was willing to do that to play my sorting game that I can't stop talking about called Good Sorting.
It's good to know that because what, it's been a couple weeks, I feel like, since you started playing that game. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes you go through like a period with a new game where you're like addicted to it for like a week and then after you like can't pick it up again. Good to know
Yeah.
that it's worth it.
Well, here's the thing about this game. So like you only have 5 lives, but if you don't like, you can keep playing, and they come back pretty quickly. Like I think it's like 30 minutes or something. But if you get good enough, you can join these teams, and then teams like share lives with each other. So I've decided that I have to become like I can't just play it in a normal way. I have to become a member of the community and get on a really good team. And right now I'm on level 480 something.
Oh my god.
Keep in
I
mind,
don't know
like,
if that's good or not, but it sounds like it.
well, let's just say that every level is about 7 minutes long. What if we said that?
Okay.
I'm just saying it's a lot of time I've put in, a lot of work.
I'm
Um,
honestly curious.
but, like, yeah, go ahead and do that math for me, crunch those numbers. But everyone who's on a good team is, like, in, like, the 800s or 1,000, so how much time is it? Give it to me straight.
Let me just make
Give
sure I did
it
the
to me
math
straight.
the
Okay,
math right
okay,
on
but
this.
also keep in mind, this is important to know, I do finish a lot of levels, like, easy levels in, like, a minute or 2 minutes.
Okay, sure, if that makes you feel better. Let's do an average of, like, 5. What level are you on?
480, I'll say 486, I don't know if that's, like, 100% correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we've, clocked in anywhere from, like, 40 hours to 56 hours.
That's I mean, I'm working, like, I'm organizing shelves, so, like, it's a full-time job, so I should be putting in 40 hours a week, like, I have to
Someone's
clock
gotta put
in.
the time in. I mean,
There's
that's fine.
there's one day where I spent, like, a full day. I did not this was on Friday, and I feel horrible because I know that's a work day. I did not get out of my bed for the entire day, and I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and played on my iPad until I decided to go on TikTok live with my friends for 2 hours, and then we made our plans with an audience, and then I finally left my house, but I was, like, still in my pajamas. It was just one of those days I was feeling, like, horrible.
I think that's completely fine, and also, I don't know if it's because I'm surrounded by people who have sales jobs. I truly think, like, the Friday workday is a dying breed, and
I do
that's just my
too.
opinion.
And, like, on a weekday, because I do social media full time, I, like, really hold myself accountable to which not always, not 100% of the time, but, like, I usually wake up when my boyfriend wakes up, which is, like, 7:30, and then I'm, like, up for the day. When he leaves, I start working, and then I'm, like, working until around 5. I mean, not of course, I take breaks, of course, whatever, go to the gym, but, like, on a Friday, there's something about it that gives me the permission because a lot of my friends work from home or don't work at
Mhm.
all, where I'm like, "Actually, I'm good."
Actually, I have to game and organize all day, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you're
So
not gonna organize your house in real life, that's fine.
and I'm not, like, I'm gonna do it virtually. I've had laundry in the dryer. I'm like, "Oh, I have no clean clothes." I have clean clothes, that have been in the dryer for 2 weeks.
Let me tell you
So
something. Living with your in-laws, I have never been more productive when it comes to laundry in my entire fucking life because I get so anxious about letting a load sit in the dryer for like genuinely more than like 5 minutes after the timer goes
yeah.
off. It's
I
horrible.
can't imagine that. But there's something really beautiful about that, and that's, like, roommates too, in general, like, holding you accountable, but then there's also, the beautiful freedom of, like, not having to do anything and, like, no one caring about your space. But, like, even,
Literally.
like, when someone comes over, Brett and I talk about this all the time, like, if someone were to just come over, like, not like you, my best friend, but, like, someone
Mhm.
I'm not super close with come over, but even when you visit, I'm like, I deep clean my house, like, I just need someone to, like, visit or come over, and then I'll, like, clean.
Well, that was the first time that we were seeing your place, so I kinda get that
Yeah, but
to
I
a
would
certain
still
extent.
always, like, my mom just visited, and I deep cleaned for her, cause like, my guest room is kind of my, like, shit all over the floor room. So, like,
Completely
there's just
understand.
piles of clothes.
I've kinda done that with Kyle's brother's bedroom.
Yeah,
So I just
exactly. If there's a room
close the
that's,
door
like,
so no one sees it.
yeah, like, out of my direct eyesight, that's,
Mhm.
like, a pile up room.
Yeah, absolutely. How was the visit with your mom?
Visit with my mom was good. My mom's, like, a very go, go, go person, and when she planned this visit, my mom knows I get really stressed about, like, hosting, so she, like, she's like, "Hey, here's the dates. Let me know if this works." And I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "I promise I don't wanna do anything, like, we don't need to do a bunch of stuff." Because normally she does like to do, like, touristy stuff, like, understandably so, you're paying a lot of money to be somewhere else.
Mhm.
But really, I was like, "Okay, sure, mom." She came and we just, like, hung out the whole time, which was so great.
Oh, that is so great. Was it's just her, I'm assuming?
Yeah, just her, and we watched so many movies, and she's not like a sit down and watch TV girl, like, she's like you, but we really lounged,
I do feel
it was
like your
so
mom
nice.
I do feel like she, like, is a bit of a cinephile, like, she loves movies, I feel like. Like, I feel like she's always going to see movies. I could be
She
completely
loves
making that up.
No, I don't I wouldn't say that, like, she'll get hooked on a good show. She loves Broadway. She'll go see, like, any theater program, really, and she
Yeah,
will go to movies, but not like I would say I probably go to the movies more than her.
that makes sense. You literally are legally required to since you live in LA. Speaking of Broadway, I got my tickets for Wicked this weekend. Not
Oh my
not the
god.
movie, not the Broadway show, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm
the
so
movie.
excited. I cannot wait.
What day are you going?
I'm going Sunday.
Oh my god, you have to
Mhm.
obviously, like, text me or call me right after.
Yeah, of course. I'm
Who
going
are you
with,
going with?
my mom, and Kyle's grandma, so it's the 4 of us. I'm really
Aw,
excited. It's gonna be really
I'm
good.
so excited.
Mhm.
It's
I
gonna
can't
love
wait.
it.
It's like
Oh.
I I was listening to the, soundtrack today, and I've been listening in order, and Defying Gravity came on, and I just was, like, tearing up, like, full body chills. I cannot wait.
I really like for some reason, the I've seen it now 2 times thanks to my friend Brooke. Um, the second like, the first time I was so caught up in, like, every song of the movie and every detail of the movie that, like, Defying Gravity is so insane and so impressive, but I almost, like there was just so many emotions going through my head. The second time I saw it, I was, like, even more blown away by the ending. Like, the ending was just even better, and it was one of those things where Brooke and I had we didn't even speak this thought out loud, but we were like, what if we saw the film the first time and we kind of just like got excited and over like what if it wasn't as good as we remember and it was just
Mhm.
better, which was great.
Is it true that it's gonna be in 2 parts? Is that real?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure because I feel like they're not, like, advertising it and making it, like, super obvious, and I thought we had talked about it before, but I wasn't exactly sure. So, which is crazy because I told someone over the weekend and they, like, fully didn't believe me, and I'm like, "I'm 99% sure it's gonna be in 2 parts."
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people went to the theaters not knowing that.
It does give us something to look forward to, which is always nice. Um, I don't wanna hate on, like, the people who haven't seen Wicked, obviously, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm genuinely shocked at the TikTok comments and just, like, comments on social media of people saying that have no idea, like, what the plot line is or what the story is, like, they know nothing, and then I'm also seeing comments from people saying they've never even seen Wizard of Oz, and they're asking, like, "Should I watch The Wizard of Oz before I go see Wicked?" Which I think is crazy.
I know. It is crazy to me just because my whole childhood was The Wizard of Oz, and
Mhm,
then, like, once I was introduced to Wicked, that was just such a big part of my life, which obviously is the truth for so many people, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty of people who have no fucking clue what's going on, what this even is, and it's Ariana Grande, and it's Jonathan Bailey, and it's Cynthia, and, like, all this
mhm.
press, and they're like, "Yeah, obviously I'm gonna see it," having I can't imagine going and having no knowledge, like, that would be, I guess, exciting, but also probably a little bit confusing.
I was gonna
And I
say,
think
I do
there
feel
was some
like
people on the pod group that were like, "Do
mhm.
I need to know anything?" And, like, it's still gonna be so entertaining and so good, but I would watch The Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
I feel like at the very least, I'm so excited for those people because like, their whole lives and world is gonna change, like, and to, like,
Yeah.
see Wicked for the first time, it's gonna be unreal.
I know, that's crazy.
Mm, very
Well,
excited.
I did kinda have to, like, debrief on some of the I saw someone explaining, like, the connection between because it does get a little bit confusing because the timeline in The Wizard of Oz and the timelines in Wicked overlap, and then there comes a point where the Wizard of Oz timeline ends and the Wicked timeline continues. So I
Mhm.
was like sometimes I get confused about that, and then that her timeline, like it looked this girl up on TikTok, I don't know what her handle was, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it. She explained it really well and, like, straightforward.
In my mind, like, Wicked is, like, solely just the prequel and there's no overlap. Like, I've always thought that.
That's how I've always felt too, but then when I saw it, like, literally drawn out on a whiteboard, I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess I did know that. I just didn't, like, process that."
Yeah. Well, either way, I can't wait. I'm gonna talk about it next week. I won't
Okay.
have any spoilers, obviously, but
Yeah.
you guys should also try to see it this weekend. So
Yeah, please. I have a ticket. I don't know if I'm gonna go because I have a seat alone in the front because I can't figure out how to use the AMC Entourage feature on my app, obviously. Like, my technology has been truly my worst enemy recently in, like, every single way,
I don't
except for my
understand, like
iPad.
I don't understand how that's possible because that's, like, part of your job.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The podcast stuff was, like, a nightmare on its own that had nothing to do with your inability to, like, understand what was going on. I think that was just a weird day.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like it is because I mean, I guess I don't really know anything about this stuff and I just wanted to talk to my friend on camera. So, but like we've been doing it so long
Obviously.
that I should
Yeah.
know more. But then watching like I went on Brooks I went on Obsessed, my friend Brooks podcast, and the reason I'm talking like this, by the way, is just in case there's like any new viewers that have no idea who we are. But I went on Brooks podcast and like Izzy, their producer, Brooks' producer, came and she just sets up 3 cameras of all different angles of us with the soundboard plugging in a bunch of different cords, and I was like, "Izzy, like, how?" Like, and I was like, "I wish I had you, Izzy, to do this for me," and she's like she fully works for a company, she's like, like, "Aw." Like, I'm like, I'm just so jealous, and I'm so impressed by anyone who's, like, so good with technology because it really, like, everything is just more difficult than it seems, like, everything is so easy looking, like, it seems so straightforward, and it's just not.
Well, that's kinda, like, why I feel like we delayed the whole YouTube stuff for so long is because, I mean, there's so much shit that needs to go into it, and then we did finally get the cameras, and we were like, "Oh, wait." Like, there's so
Right.
much more we need to do, but we're here
Yay.
now.
I wanted
So
to ask how Kyle's birthday was.
Kyle's birthday was great. It was in the middle of the week, so we just did happy hour at the Chart House in Annapolis, which for any of like our local girls, local to me, obviously, um, the deals that they do for happy hour at the Chart House are so good. I mean, we each got 2 drinks and probably 6 or 7 apps, and it was only $100, like, total for the 2 of us.
God damn.
Incredibly, incredibly cheap, and I love, like, just the vibe in there and the atmosphere. The booths that they have at the bar are, like, so cozy. So it was good, and then we came home and did, cake and ice cream with his parents, obviously, and my mom came. So it was good. It was great.
Oh, that sounds very, very wholesome and sweet.
And then he got to go on a golf trip this past weekend with all his boys, so perfect birthday weekend for him.
Oh, wow, I love that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I guess the only thing new I mentioned briefly went to Disneyland yesterday, and it was all decorated for Christmas, and it was just gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I do how far away is it from you?
It's like an hour,
Mm,
little less, like, I mean, like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, you know?
yeah. One of these days, I would like to go with you.
Yeah, it is crazy because I, like, hate to be that person, you know? But growing up
Mhm.
on the East Coast and, like, the Disneyland, the Californians get really, really mad when you start talking like this. And I know it's historical and it's beautiful and it was first, and I get it. The castle is genuinely smaller than my house.
I didn't even know they had a castle.
It's cute, it's really cute, it's smaller than my house.
I
And my
mean,
house is not crazy big, it's for reference.
can you even, like, go inside? That's actually so sad because the Disney World one, that's a castle.
It's a well, oh, yeah, I think the only reason it's jarring and, like, I think I can speak for everyone if you go to Disney World first and then you go to Disneyland second, it like you're like, "Wait, are you sure that's it?" That is really what it feels like, and I'm
Oh
not
my
even trying to be
god.
mean, like, I've been a couple times to Disneyland, and every time I'm like, "That can't be it," like, because it's so small, like, it's not even, like, over like, you're walking down the super cute I forget what that area is called, y'all know, like, the really cute
Mhm.
area, you're walking in, there's all the stores, the lights, the tree was, like, taller than the castle. Tree was gorgeous. They did, like, decorate it, and it was all lit up and had, like, icicles dripping down all the castle. It was really pretty.
Aw,
Very pretty.
gorgeous.
I just, teeny tiny, definitely more of, like, a row home. Like a town
Definitely
like a
more of a row home is
like a
crazy.
townhouse.
Okay, well,
Um,
I'm curious. I'm gonna actually Google it. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna wait because I feel like maybe we'll go
really?
within the next like 2 years at least. I don't know. I've been meaning to tell you I'm itching for a California trip, so I think I'm gonna try to
Oh,
come up.
great. Well,
Yeah,
literally whenever.
sometime soon within the next like probably 6 to 7 months. I'm thinking.
Perfect. Literally whenever. Um, and then okay, last thing, Small World was also decorated, so beautifully, like the lights and stuff.
Is it the
Did not
same?
make it in. I
People are gonna
imagine it's
think
similar.
people are gonna think we're like diehard Disney fans with this little segment.
I mean, I like Disney. I don't feel any like sort of I like Disney. I like going. I was excited about it. Miles got
Mhm.
free tickets, so that's why we just ended up going. I've been like a lot of times, so have you.
Yeah. Coincidentally, I mean, there was that year that I was supposed to go last year maybe or the year before where I was supposed to go twice in 1 year within
Mhm.
the span of 2 months to
Yeah.
Disney World, which didn't end up happening, thank God. Um, yeah, insane.
Oh, I have another question. You're going on a
Mhm.
cruise. When is your cruise again?
It's the week before Easter in April.
Oh, never mind. I thought for some reason it was like around the holidays time. And so I'm hanging out with my friends, and Brooke and Channing are both going on cruises. And I
Oh
thought
my
it was about
god.
to, they started like screaming because they leave on the same day from the same place. And when we were in, was it high school or middle school? High school.
High school, yeah.
We, Emily had found out that she was like during class, she had found out that she was on the same cruise as one of our other friends, and we've talked about that before. And we were like all witnessing this moment, like me and all my friends were like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And anyways, so it turns out they're not on the same cruise, but they go to one of those islands that's only for cruises on the same
Uh-huh.
day.
Oh my god, that's so beautiful. They're going with their families?
Yeah, Channing's going with her mom, and Brooke's going with her dad and family.
That's so
And
funny.
I was thinking in the back of my mind, I was thinking I couldn't remember when yours was, so I was hoping maybe you
Mm.
were on the island because they're leaving from Florida.
No, I wish. No, mine's, not until April. So, just bought my all-inclusive drink package yesterday.
Hell yes.
Mhm. Can't wait. That's all I'm gonna have to do is drink because I'm going with so many of my family members, it's gonna be insane.
How much did that run you these days, if you don't mind me asking?
Luckily, I caught, like, a Black Friday deal, so it was, like, 35% off.
Oh, that's like
Um,
amazing though.
yeah, I mean, it was, like, 5 something maybe or no, just over 6 after obviously taxes and fees and shit. It was, like, 630 bucks maybe.
For a week?
So,
Is it a
yeah,
full week or 5 days?
oh, 8 days. We're going on an 8-day cruise, obviously.
Oh, okay, well, that makes sense then, that amount. That's not bad.
Mhm.
Not good, but not bad.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be
I'm
worth
sure
it.
you'll get your money's worth.
God, yeah. I can't wait. I really
Okay,
can't
and
wait.
then it's gonna be so fun. The only other thing in the Lost Tapes episode from last week that we had to throw out, we talked about Brianna chicken fry, which we've talked about on the
Mhm,
bonus a little bit. And I do
mhm.
feel like the topic's kind of been talked through at this point. She dated Zach Bryan, super abusive, emotionally abusive relationship. He's literally like a piece of shit. And he offered her $12 million to shut the fuck up. And she said, no, thank you, which was really beautiful. Of course, I've been thinking about like what I would do for $12 million, and it's like, like I would do anything. But that being said, did you see that she has a new man's right now?
Literally, maybe last night or this morning when I was on TikTok, yes, I did.
That's all I wanted to say because I feel like everything else has been beaten to the ground, you know?
Mhm. I saw a clip, of her sitting on a bench.
Hmm.
Did you see this with her 2
She
friends,
post, you
new
know, she
man.
originally posted that.
I think I saw her did she delete it?
No, I'm just saying I saw videos of people talking about it before I saw hers,
Oh,
but
oh.
then I hadn't realized that she posted it out.
No, I saw the original, and obviously, I saw her sitting so close to this man, and then they literally started, like, nuzzling each other, so I never opened up a comment section so fast in my fucking
Mhm.
life. Um, and people were like, "New man already?" And she's like, "What did you think was gonna happen?" Like, "I got cheated on." And I was like, "Okay."
No, I know, like, you have to respect all of her moves. She's like, I'm not gonna accept the money, I'm gonna talk about it, and yeah, I'm gonna get a new man and post it." Like, I do respect it. I am like I was shocked that it was her that posted. I thought someone else had just, like, gotten a video of them or something, or a friend
Yeah.
posted it or something, but they looked really sweet and happy, so
I
love
mean,
it.
she knew that there was gonna be people who were gonna absolutely hate on that, and she was like, "Fuck it, I don't care." I mean, she's been through so much worse, I'm sure she can take a little bit more internet hate on that.
Did you also see that Connor was brought into it?
Okay, I only saw, like, stupid little, like, edits of him being like, imagine,
Yes.
like, Connor being on Dave
Yeah.
Portnoy and Zach Bryan's mind, and I don't know what happened. I'm dying to know.
Um, it was like I don't remember exactly when it was, but she said I'm just gonna say what she said on the show, but she said, Dave on BFFs, Miles called me and he said Connor got brought up on BFFs, and they're talking about Zach Bryan. And because Miles is super, this is my boyfriend who's super invested in the Brianna chicken fry drama, like loves it.
Love that.
Um, and I was like, "Give me a timestamp, let me go look." And I finally found it, and she goes, "Dave, you know that fibula guy you hate?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I hate that guy." And she's like, "One time we're in a car, him and I were in a car with Zach, and Connor touched my shoulder, and Zach like freaked out and kicked him out of the car on the side of the road."
What? That is absolutely insane. I cannot believe it.
I know, but so that was hilarious. I don't know if he's gonna talk about it or not, but I'll let him go ahead with that.
I mean, I'm dying to get, like, more of a play-by-play because, like, I'm just dying to know, like, how Connor was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll get out of the car." Like,
I
I
know,
don't
I know, I know, I
understand.
know.
Apparently Dave isn't gonna do BFFs anymore.
What do you mean?
I heard from over the weekend, that he is gonna stop in 2025. Like, he said that he's too old to do it, and he's just not gonna be on the pod anymore.
Well, he's been too old to do it the whole time, so what's
Man,
changing now?
it's exactly the exact words that came out of my mouth. I said, "What's I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense, but okay."
I also feel like he really like, from what I've seen, I'm not, like, an avid watcher necessarily, but it
Mhm.
seems like he really likes it, so I wonder.
I do feel like they kind of have a good dynamic going. I mean, I would say probably 2 or 3 years ago, I was listening, not, like, religiously, but I would say probably for, 5 or 6 episodes in a row, and I, like, enjoyed it. Like, I liked the dynamic that they all had. Um, I don't know. I'm not, like, the
Y
biggest Barstool stan, of course, so I'm not super upset by it.
No, I'm not either. Someone asked me yesterday, like, or no, this weekend, just saying, like, "Kat, would you do Barstool if, like, that opportunity was presented?" And I was like, "God, like, I really don't like Barstool." But, like,
Mhm.
at this point, we're self-producing a pod that, like, if they gave me the right amount of money and they said they'd pick up the work, like, I'd probably do it, which is, like, sucks. I'm a sellout, but I guess it would just I think the problem is, and not that they're asking and probably never will, is that they'd have to offer an amount of money where I could, like, put those beliefs and opinions aside, and I don't think
Mhm.
that they'd be able to do that for us right now, so.
I completely agree, and that's, like, the whole thing with Brianna, and to be fair, I would just like to say, obviously, I would be taking the 12,000,000, no
Mhm.
questions. I'd be like, I'll keep my mouth shut for eternity for $12,000,000." Brianna Chicken Fry and I's financial situations are completely
Yeah.
different. So,
That's
it's so
kinda what
great.
she was saying too, like, she was, like,
Mhm.
happy to be the one to blast it out because, I mean, the other women that he's inferred to have paid off, like, weren't able to say no to that at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's life-changing. So,
Yeah, I mean,
God, it would be so excruciating, though, having to keep all that in. Ugh.
I know, I think, like, even if I was paid 12,000,000, it would probably still get out, and then I'd get sued because I'd just be, like, telling my friends and family still, and then they're gonna tell someone, and then they're gonna tell someone, and then someone's gonna post it on TikTok. So it's like either way, I'm gonna lose the money probably.
It's gonna end up on a snark page on Reddit. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's gonna be
obviously.
me posting it
Of
anonymously.
course. I go to one girls' night and have a couple glasses of wine. I'm toast.
Yeah. They're gonna have the FBI getting the IP address on that one,
Mhm, mhm.
right to
For
my
sure,
house.
for sure.
Should
Well,
we
I
go
don't
into some advice? I don't think I have any more, like, topical things going on.
yeah, I would love to. Hi, girls. First of all, I just want to say I absolutely love your podcast and it brings me so much joy on my drive to work. I have a bit of, of a situation and would love to hear your guys' advice on my sticky situation. So, I moved to a new state and I'm living by myself and know nobody. So, of course, took to the dating apps as any terribly desperate single 24-year-old girl would do. I matched with a boy and we started chatting right away. I swiped and replied about going to a concert with him, and it just kept going after that. We quickly moved to text and talked back and forth for about a week, talking about music, sending songs, getting into all about how dating nowadays is so hard and how he's sick of it, blah, blah, blah. After a week of texting him asking to take me on a date, he ghosted me out of nowhere. Shocker. Then, about a week after that, I got drunk and texted him asking about our date because YOLO, why not? Can't be embarrassed about a boy I've never met, right? That led to a big apology and then us texting for another week, getting very deep into what we want in life, what we struggle with, what we were looking for, how he would treat me, and so much more, totally agreeing on everything. I hadn't even met the guy, but I already felt like he knew me so well. Then, after about a week of that, again talking about taking me on a date, he ghosted me a second time. I figured that was
Mhm.
my cue to back up and just add him to the list of oh wells from Hinge until like 2 weeks after getting ghosted, he texted me saying an apology from the bottom of his heart, explaining how he had to go back home. Things were tough and how bad he feels about it all, asking to FaceTime to explain more. I'm very confused on what any of this means and if I should forgive him again, risking getting attached just for him to ghost me all over again, or just move on and forget about him. He's so sweet when he's texting me and makes it seem like he cares so much, but the ghosting is a major red flag. Do I just give up or give him another shot? I'm literally so confused. Thanks for the help. Love you guys so much.
I think give up, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
I
do feel like
just
it's like
mhm.
glaringly obvious. I 1000% would FaceTime him though and just hear him out.
I mean, of course I would, like,
Should we? No, probably not.
I just
I
feel
don't
like
know.
when someone's, like, weird off the bat and, like, already you haven't even met yet, and they're
Mhm.
being like and they can't communicate with you normally and are
Yeah.
already, like, showing you red flags of, like, ghosting, dropping off the face of the earth, and I know shit happens, but it's like, there's always a a better way than to just, like, fully drop off the face. I don't know, I just feel like he's showing you those things before meeting him, so, like, take that at face value.
Yeah, it does suck that they do seem like they connect so well simply via text is what I've gathered. Because I mean, you've talked about it with dating, like, it is really hard to, like, make that
Mhm,
connection
that's
that's
true.
past surface level. So that I think is the only reason why I would hear him out. I mean, maybe he did go through trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe he did go through something crazy, but also, do you wanna deal with that? Like, whatever it is?
Yeah, I mean, and maybe you could base that off of the FaceTime, like, that doesn't hurt to, like, move forward with that, like, move forward
Mhm.
with a call and see what he has to say, and, like, I really feel like you'll know if something's, like, not adding up, like, you can
Mhm.
feel when something's a lie, and you can feel when something's just, like, not serious enough to have done what he did, so I feel like you'll be able to gauge it from that too if you wanna do that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And
But
that's that
yeah.
on that.
Okay, this girl is looking for some advice about dating a coworker. We
Yay,
get
we
a lot of
love
those.
these.
Okay. Hi girls, love you both to death, of course, and seriously need your advice and delusions due to the fact that I literally imprinted on my coworker. She said, please understand this reference. Obviously, we understand the reference.
Of
Like, of
course.
course. Which, by the way,
I don't say that enough, actually. I need to start using that
no,
more often.
I know, but when you watched or read Twilight the first time, like, did you really consider that Jacob imprinted on a baby and then started dating her when she was, like, 8.
I mean, I thought nothing of it because I was 13 when I read the books.
No, I know, but, like, I didn't really process. I was watching a podcast and they had watched the Twilight movies and they were talking about
Mhm,
it,
mhm.
and they all had watched it as adults for the first time, and they were, like, talking about it, and I was like, of course I knew that was weird, but it is, like, really weird that she, like, really Stephanie Myers really sat there and, like, is it Myers or Meyer? Myers?
Stephanie Myers, yeah.
Like, she really sat there and said, "Let me write this down."
I guess, like, if you try to make it seem normal, like, it's not necessarily, like, sexual or romantic, like, it's more of just, like, a soulmate situation, but, I mean, yeah, then he just has to
That's
be
what he
around.
says, though. He says it's not sexual, but then it is.
I mean, yeah, he has to be around this, like, young girl as she grows up. Thank God she grows at the speed of light.
I mean, thank God
Ugh,
she
I
grows
need
at
to
the speed of light.
rewatch.
Okay, anyway, I'll keep going. I started a new job about a month ago. The firm is mostly women, but there are definitely some men lingering around as well. In my second week, I noticed a really cute guy sitting on my floor. I proceeded to walk past him about 6 times. He was on the way to the kitchen. What choice do I have? I was thinking about him the whole rest of the day because he was so cute and I hadn't seen any other cuties at work. It's a Friday, and my one friend and I head to a bar in my neighborhood. And while we're on our way, I'm telling her all about how much I need to talk to him. We walk into the bar, and the first guy I see is him. I live in a huge city with a million bars. What are the chances? Long story short, we talk for 2 hours. I meet all of his friends. I get his number. He walks me home and gives me his jacket since it was cold. I didn't want to cross the line, so I hugged him goodbye and wasn't too flirty, but I was obviously showing interest, and so is he. Important detail is I went up to him and asked if he worked at blank, and he said, "Yeah, and you do too, and I noticed you." So already that's a plus. Today we were both in the office and he came up to me while I was eating lunch and we chatted for so long. It was fun and a bit flirty. What do I do now? This is my first real job out of college and I don't want to do something wrong, but I'm really not someone who likes to pay attention to rules. I have dated multiple coworkers in the past in restaurants, etc., because I like to have fun. Also, he's 25 and I'm 23 and I'm new to the company and he's not. My current plan is to be cool and let him make the moves, but all I want to do is talk to him and ask him out so bad, but I can't. Do I play the long game and hope he's okay with crossing the line at work? I'm also gone the next 3 weekends, so like I can't meet up with him drunk anyways. Need your advice on what to do from here because I'm obsessed with him and I want to ask him out. Any advice would be amazing. Thanks, y'all. Sorry, this was a long one.
I love this, and I love her background on dating multiple coworkers. Sounds like she's
Yeah,
experienced, which is great. I think she should ask him out.
really. See, that's always my advice, and I think she should wait.
Part of me is like, I don't know, I think it's, like, kind of attractive to see, like, how much she is into this guy. So I feel like she should go for it.
I mean, he's definitely into her, and I don't think it would be like a rejection situation.
Yeah,
Um,
because
but
that is
something
the only risk you run is if she makes the first move is he rejects her.
I don't know, when I was reading, like, her being like, "I don't know, I'm new to working there, and, like, he's not, and I kinda just wanna,
Mhm.
like, play it cool and see how he feels," and that kinda, like, felt right to me, but that's probably not what I would do, so I don't even know if that's, like, accurate.
Okay, I feel like this always happens, you make me switch camps. Um, Realistically, I know that
You can
I
stay in
would
your
be.
camp.
No, I think I'm gonna stay in my camp, but if I was in this situation, I don't think there's any way I'm asking him out first. Like, knowing me,
Mhm.
like, I think I'm gonna wait, and play the long game, but I feel like him having been at the company for a while and her being new really doesn't have anything to do with it, like, he's very clearly showing interest. She wants to jump his bones, just go for it.
Yeah, that's a good point, and not to, like, go in your camp, but, like, I think the whole dating coworkers, like, yes, it can get really messy, but it's also, like especially because she's in, like, seemingly in a big company, multiple
Yeah.
floors, like, she's saying, like, this
Mhm.
guy's on her floor. Like, it happens all the time, and I really other than, like, your own mental health and having to see them, it's, like, not that big of a deal. Like, in terms
Yeah.
of, like, HR, like, company things, like, the rules, I don't think that's as serious as, like, people make it seem.
Yeah, I feel like this is genuinely best case scenario. Like, because it sounds like they don't work together day to day, so it's
Yeah,
completely
that's
fine,
true. She just would have to walk past him every time she goes to get, like, a granola bar or something.
which, like, could be kind of fun,
I mean, I would
depending on
love
how
that.
things end. Yeah, obviously.
I would love to keep tabs.
I want to give her the confidence to move forward, so
I like that. I mean, I think if she does move forward, it will go well, like, you will hook up. I mean, it will
yeah.
go well, at least in the beginning, like, I don't think he's gonna reject you, it seems like he's into you.
Mhm.
It's more so just, like, the ending, happy or
Mhm.
sad. But,
Mhm.
okay, I think with coworkers, it is really similar to Twilight where you truly, like, imprint. Like, a coworker crush is not just, like, a normal it's not like, "Oh, like, maybe" no, this is becomes your life very quickly because it is, like, your everyday. You can't stop
Mhm.
thinking about them. They're presented in a way where you're not supposed to do it. Like, a coworker is, like is Renesmee maid Jacob.
I without the, age gap where it's more normal. Um, I was gonna say, like and I haven't had work crushes to that extreme. I've been in a
Right.
loving, committed relationship for 8.5 years, y'all. Um, but, like, it just, like, makes you, like, so excited to just, like, go to work and, like, see
Mhm.
someone that you're, like, interested in, you know what I mean? Like, it does, like, literally change your whole mood and your whole day.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I kept going to the gym when that one guy was going for a while. Like, really, like,
Obviously.
a crush can really motivate you to
Do
get
you
your ass
remember
into work, look good, put a smile on your face, like, it's really beautiful. And it's
do you
always a
remem
guy that's, like, you're probably not attracted to otherwise outside the
literally, if you
office.
saw him in the wild, you would not give 2 fucks about it.
Hell no, if she met him at the bar, she wouldn't have cared. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Well, irrelevant, but just, like, seeing the way that they, like, have to carry themselves professionally too can be, like, a big turn on also. I
That's
was
true.
going to say, do you remember in high school when after I think it was gym that you and I had together, and we would walk a specific route to
Mhm.
see this guy that I was, like, texting, like, sun up to sundown, but we would never speak in person, and it was, like, that 1 second of, like, saying hello in the hallway would just, like, make or break my whole day.
Yeah, and it really when she says make or break, she's not kidding because it truly, like it would either we would walk away from this situation was came and went, if you blinked, you would fucking miss it. It was just a certain time of the day, we would pass, like, ships in the night with this man, and he'd be, like, with his group of friends, they're, like, a year older, like, tall, walking by, and it
Mhm.
would be us walking by, and it really was, like, he would either wave or he wouldn't. And when he did, Emily was, like, ear to ear, like, "Oh my god. No, guys, it's, like, not a big deal." It's like, "No, it's nothing." But if he didn't, like, she'd literally,
He
just
hates me.
mute, like, he hates me.
Yeah, my whole next period would be so ruined. Like, I wouldn't be able to, like, focus in class because I would just be overthinking about what it meant that he didn't say hello or if he didn't say my name. Like, if he just said, like, "Hey," instead of, like, "Hey,
Oh,
Emily."
yeah. There's something about someone saying your name that's really intimate. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, but then, like, that would happen, and then he texts you, like, "Hey, you look so pretty,"
Yeah,
in the
which was a
hallway.
dream in high school.
I know. There's, like, such a specific type of man. Obviously, in high school, it's different because 'cause they're young, but there is such a specific type of man, and they all live in our hometown, who will see you out at a packed bar, make eye contact with you, and then run away, and then go home and Snapchat you and say, "You looked so
Uh,
good tonight. What are you
I
doing?"
saw I saw someone this weekend. I went out, I went downtown, and across the bar was someone that I hooked up with in high school, which you guys few and far in between. So
Right.
this is like seeing like a fucking leprechaun, and
Mhm.
I swear to God, this man wanted me so bad, but he was with his girlfriend and like making out with her, but would not stop making eye contact with me. And I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Casey and Elena saw it too. Obviously, the next day when Doug and Kyle came back from their golf trip, I was telling Doug, I was like, he literally wanted to bring me home And I
Mhm.
then explained the situation to Doug, and then Kyle came over, and then I told it to Kyle, and Doug was like, "That's literally not what happened at all," but it was crazy. I was waiting for, like, a Snapchat from him at night to be like, "You look so good to see you," and I'd be like, "Bitch, we didn't talk."
Never came in?
No, he must actually be in love. It did look like it.
I don't know who you're talking about, which is so scary because it
I
really is,
know.
like, not many
Yeah, only a
people.
couple guesses. I'll tell you later, obviously.
Okay, we can offline about that. Um, I realize it's my first Thanksgiving Eve. I think I'll be missing since we were in high school. Maybe
Oh
not,
my,
like, maybe there was, like, 1 or 1, but
don't make me sick right now. My God. I
I
didn't even
know, I
think
was
about
just
that.
talking about it today, and I know people hate, like, the feeling of going home and seeing people that aren't in your life anymore and, like, seeing the people that you just have absolutely no connection with anymore,
Mhm.
but, like, I have always, like, really found I really, like, always kind of enjoy it. Even though it's, like, you have to say, "I hate it," I kinda
Mhm.
like it.
I think what I love the most, and this is something that we've talked about on here with, like, where I, like, dream up how a night is supposed to go, and, like, I have this very specific vision. For me personally, Thanksgiving Eve, I enjoy the potential, like, chaos that could
Yeah.
ensue depending on who you run into, and I think, like, that is it's just so exciting and so much fun to look forward to.
Yeah, and even, like, I feel like the past couple years, we haven't had nights where we're like, "That was so fucking fun," but we have
Mhm.
had nights where, like, we'll get the most random gossip that should have
Mhm.
never been our information to have, and, like, it's so great. Like, in the bathroom, like, some girl will just start spewing that we went to high school with. I can't
Yeah.
remember, there was definitely some really good ones last year, and then you come home,
Yeah.
and your debrief from Thanksgiving Eve is not just like a "Oh, this happened this time." It's like just telling everyone all the gossip you heard from different people
Mhm.
in your hometown, and it's just, like,
No,
so great.
it is so beautiful. I feel like with Pussers being closed downtown, not to get super specific for the people that don't live here, I don't know what is gonna happen, and Kyle works at Chop Tank, so we can't go to Chop Tank. I have no idea what we're gonna do.
Do you feel like
Also
that rule now that he's worked there longer, and for those who don't remember, Kyle works at a restaurant where he's bartending, and they own a bunch of other places in Annapolis and also in Baltimore and also other places, but,
mhm.
like, he's not allowed to go to any of the ones that they own. Do you feel like now that he's worked there longer, it's, like, not a real thing? That it's just something
No,
you have to
it's
say, or it's real?
completely real, which
Ew.
is so fucked up. I know, it's so annoying. So, I don't know. Also, I'm, like, toying with the idea that, like, okay, I'm 26, we all turn
Yeah.
27 next year. Is there a time where we stop going out on Thanksgiving Eve? Like, I feel like until I become the oldest person out, then we'll stop? I have no idea. I don't know
We're
what the
literally never
expectations
gonna
are.
be because we're never gonna be. I know, like, 40, 50-year-olds that do the same thing.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it is the biggest drinking night of the year.
My mom goes out. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
I think we're always allowed, like, especially Annapolis, I think is good. Like, there's definitely certain bars where we could walk into and be the oldest people there.
Yeah.
But I feel like Annapolis, there's always a place for, like, all ages to mingle, kind of.
I think there's, like, something's happening. So there's a new bar in downtown Annapolis called Pearl. Have I told you about it before?
You have, yeah.
Yeah. So every time that I go out with Casey and Elena in downtown Annapolis, which has been twice now recently, where it's just the 3 of us. We end up at Pearl in this, like, tiki section. We're, like, literally in, like, a bungalow drinking, just gossiping away, and then weirdly enough, twice now, we have had a young gay man accompanied by an old straight man, like, approach us. It has happened twice. A couple weekends ago, it happened. Um, they were great, they were lovely. The gay guy, obviously, we're addicted to, the straight man, we wanted nothing to do with, and then it happened again
Mhm.
this weekend.
The
We were
same people
talking
or different young
no,
gay
different, different. This young man approached us, we started talking to him, and there's this just, like, old, like, man just, like, lingering, and he kept talking about his boyfriend, so I just the guy went to the bathroom, straight man went to the bathroom. I assumed that was his boyfriend, and I said something, I was like, "Oh, well, like, how long have you and your boyfriend been together?" He goes, "That's not my boyfriend. My boyfriend lives in Georgia. That's my dealer." I was like, "Of course. Obviously, that's your dealer," who was mute the entire night. It was insane.
That's so like, how is that happening?
I don't know how it's happening. So I don't know if Pearl is like low key becoming maybe a gay bar, which would be super
That would be
exciting.
fun. I feel like we don't have any
I
in
know.
Maryland, really. Or not in Maryland,
Um
sorry, in Annapolis.
Annapolis. Yeah, so I mean, we are loving it because it has been so much fun and we'll like go to like other bars with them afterwards. Um
Love.
but yeah, it's just like cute, fun, gay guy accompanied by old, weird, straight man.
You gotta
It's
keep
very
going and see
interesting.
if it keeps happening.
Yeah, I have a feeling it might. I just love that we look approachable enough, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Do you wanna read another
Oh,
advice or story real quick?
I do have 2 written down. Let me see which one I want to do. Okay, here we go. We'll do this one. Hi guys, love the pod and have been meaning to write the story in for a minute now. To get into it, I was casually dating on Hinge last winter before I got into the lovely relationship that I'm in now. I matched with one guy in particular who I hung out with roughly 3 to 4 times total. No real feelings were there at all after our first date. It was always mutual and casual hookups. We never followed each other on any social media, which will come into play later. Only connection in today's time is that I did end up moving into the same apartment complex as him, but ever since I've been here, I never saw him, so I assumed he moved out. The last time we saw each other was February. Fast forward to June, he hit me with a "I want to see you" text out of nowhere, so I immediately hopped onto his social media to investigate his current dating situation, to which I discovered his girlfriend of 4 months who he lived in her home with. Based on the girlfriend's Instagram story, I could tell that she was on a girls' trip out of state, which is why this idiot guy thought he had a chance to go behind her back and see an old hookup, aka me, and who knows how many others. I was not having it and messaged him back saying, "I bet your girlfriend wants to see you too, dumb fucking freak." To which he immediately blocked me. I waited 3 days, then messaged the girlfriend via Hey Girly Insta DM, and she was baffled but super sweet and thankful that I reached out. The girlfriend dumped him immediately and archived all their photos. I even ran into the girl at the bar weeks later, and she was the sweetest ever to me and was still done with him at the time. I also got to sit in my apartment and watch through my window as this cheater hinge guy got kicked out of his now ex's home and had to move back into his apartment here, which was hilarious. To wrap this up, I stayed following the old girlfriend on Instagram and I noticed she unarchived all their photos. A few weeks after this, I saw her pull up to the apartment complex that me and her ex lived in as she assisted in helping this man move back out of the apartment. I assume they must have gotten back together based on this site. Later that day, I saw a post on Instagram of their pregnancy announcement, which means she was expecting his child the whole time and they're now engaged and ready to welcome life into the world. This actually baffles me, and I think about how thankful I am that I'm not having his baby, especially because when I used to hook up with him, he always begged to not use protection, to which I always said we needed it. So scary that he could have planted one in me if I let him hit it raw. Ew.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of layers to this one.
I'm feeling horrible for the girl that got pregnant.
I know. I like, cause yeah,
I
she
mean, I'm feeling
probably
horrible
would
for
not,
both girls, but
obviously, but yeah, the pregnant woman probably would not have gotten back together with him if she wasn't having his baby. So that is tough.
well, it just seemed like she really was like sometimes you'll send that "Hey girly" DM and they're like, "Okay, fuck you." And you're like,
Mhm.
"What?" Like we're on the same team here. But like she really was like, "Thank you." Broke up with him, made him move out, like did all the right
Mhm.
things and then got back with him because of that. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think she would have done that if not. I mean, who are we to know? But like doesn't seem
I
like
mean,
it.
if he was asking her to have sex without protection, it was probably the same situation, which is so sad.
That is
So
so
scary.
disgusting also.
Like, why are you out here begging your begging? Asking maybe is one thing, but to beg is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if you feel comfortable enough, if you've been hooking up for a while, like asking, bringing it up, begging. If a man started begging, I didn't know him like that. I'd literally be like, "You are so fucking weird. Like, get out of here." Um, and I liked that she called him a fucking freak. That obviously
Mhm.
was good.
I think some good takeaways from this episode is need to use the term imprint more because I do feel like me personally, I imprint on so many different things. And
Yeah.
then two, freaks not used enough anymore. Like
I have been using freak so much and it's so great.
it just is like, yeah, you are a fucking freak. It makes
I
sense.
like I think we've kind of been since like the election. people started calling like Trump supporters weird because they found out that was like a trigger word, like
Mhm.
weird, because
Mhm.
it's so like there's something so beautiful about the word weird. Like, ew, you're just that's so weird. Like, because then
Yeah.
you're left thinking like, wait, what? Like, there's something about it that's just like so hurtful. Like, it's not that mean of a thing to say. And honestly, there's good ways to say it too, but it is like so hurtful to call someone weird and freak. Like, one, like, you're being so weird right now is
Mhm.
like really, if you say that to someone, it really makes them think. So,
That's what I was gonna say. It's
weird,
like better
freak,
than
imprint.
it's like so much better than just being like, "Shut the fuck up," or "You're stupid," or "You're dumb," but like, "You're weird" really gets them to evaluate what's coming out of their mouth.
Yeah. Like, that is such a weird thing to think. Okay. And then
I
just like let them
cannot
sit with it.
literally Godspeed to the next man that approaches me and the girls next time we're out that we, like, truly are not fucking with, and obviously only if he's being an asshole, not if he's just being kind and polite,
hmm
but, like, the next man that wrongs us, weird and freak are gonna come out of my mouth so many times, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm so excited.
I haven't like I'm kind of jealous of you keep having these situations where you're like having random men hit on you.
Mhm.
I haven't
I
like every time I'm out, I'm pretty much always in like a really gay space. Um like this past weekend we tried to go we specifically went to the east side because my girlfriends who are single wanted to like have the possibility of meeting someone.
Yeah.
Um, go to the east side. Of course, our server comes up. He's like, "Hey, daddy!" Like it's just like this like super gay guy, like so sweet.
I
And we had
love
so much
that.
fun with him, and he like brought us free shots. But we're like, yeah, sorry, you guys. Like we're just it's just always gonna be gay men that come up to us. But yeah, I can't like think of the I haven't gotten like hit on in a bar like that where I want to get mad at a man.
It is, like, probably something that has to do with our geographical differences, because like, obviously here, like, specifically in our town, like, there is going to be more instances where we come across, like, absolute assholes,
Right.
like, the last time we've really got into it it was not too long ago, actually, a couple weekends ago. We were pre-gaming, and Alicia's like, "I really wanna get into it with a man."
Oh
Um
my God.
and her wish came true because this guy would not leave me alone. And he wasn't even, like, necessarily being that much of an asshole, like, he just, like, kept trying to talk to me, and I was like, "I'm not interested, I'm just trying to, like, dance with my girls." And he did tell Alicia to shut the fuck up, which was a big mistake. And Alicia started screaming at him, and
You
then he
wouldn't
did end
catch
up
me telling Alicia to shut the fuck up.
literally never. And then Alicia started screaming at him, and then he did end up leaving the bar, and Alicia was, like, flicking him off, like, the entire time that he was, like, walking out of the bar, and the bouncer, like, kinda, like, gave her a weird look, and she was like, "That man hates women," and the bouncer was like, "We don't, want any of that here. I will kick him out if he does not leave." So, he
Oh,
did leave
good.
though, which was nice. Yeah.
I do were you in DC?
Mhm.
I feel like the only times I've been out in DC with you guys, which isn't like many times, but I do always feel like one, there's more men than women, and they're all like really aggressive
Yeah,
with
they
like
are
hitting and flirting. Not in like necessarily a bad way. I'm just saying
they're just
like I remember
forward.
there
They're
was
very forward.
yeah, very
Mhm.
forward, and then there was like a couple instances where like all in the same night where I said the same thing like, "Hey, sorry, like appreciate it, but just dancing with
Girls'
my
night.
girls, like girls'
Yeah.
night." Cuz that's what we
Mhm.
always say. We like if we're like don't feel like even entertaining, we'll just be like, "Sorry, it's girls' night. We're just like not talking to anyone else." And they don't take that as an answer.
No. They literally, like, you can see it, like, you can see them hear it, but not actually understand anything you say, because 'cause they're just like, "Oh, okay, well." And I'm like, "No, no, no, there's no well, there's no but. Like, we're
Yeah,
done
there's
here."
no, I'm saying no, which like I don't know what you'd rather me say. Like, I have no interest in speaking to you because that's what it translates to. I'm trying to be
Because we can be
nice.
mean. Yeah, we can be
Yeah.
mean.
And then like the one night that I'm thinking of, the guy that I said that to, he was like, Please let me get you guys drinks." And I was like, I'm telling you, we don't want to hang out with you. If you want to go get us drinks, go ahead. But like, I
Yeah.
will not, it will not change if I speak to you or not. Like, I literally said that. And then he went and got us drinks.
Oh, that's actually really sweet.
But then he
Did
was,
he
like,
leave?
blackout. No, he
Oh
stayed,
god.
but then he was, like, so blackout that he was, like, on the floor, so I think we just, like, left him.
Obviously. I'm like now thinking now thinking that that night Casey got her phone stolen, that same
Mhm.
night, and we were in DuPont, which I believe is where you got your phone stolen last
Hell
time?
yeah, exactly right.
Mhm.
Actually, I did once I texted her that, I realized it was my purse and I was holding my phone, remember? In DuPont.
Oh, it was your purse. Right, right,
My
right,
purse
completely
and my
forgot.
wallet, but still, it wasn't DuPont Circle.
Yeah, we were at Mad Hatter just for DC girls. Casey's like very certain her phone was in her purse because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she was wearing a skirt, so it wouldn't have been like in her back pocket, wouldn't have been in her hand. We walked away from a table and like we would have seen it if she left her phone on the table. So watch your bags, zip them up. I think we're going there again this weekend. And I had my phone in my back pocket all night long, which was so scary. Could have been me.
Well, you'll also gaslight yourself out of thinking like, "Oh, I must have left it somewhere." But
Yeah.
it's like, no, when I got my phone stolen that night, there was no one in the bar or sorry, my purse stolen. I keep saying that. My purse stolen at that bar. There was like probably like 5 guys in the bar and then me and like 2 friends. And my purse was just sitting on the bar like while I was ordering, like for me to get my
Mhm.
wallet out. And then like I turned to talk to my friend and it was gone. I was like, that's really annoying because,
It's
like, I
actually
wasn't even
insane.
having fun. Like, at least the night that I got my phone stolen with you guys, like, I was having fun.
Right. Yeah, so it was kinda like a tomorrow problem.
And then, like, the first time I got my phone stolen in LA, which obviously it's been twice, I was blackout drunk. So I'm like, that one's, like, my fault. But then the second,
Mhm.
like, whatever. Everyone is
I
really
just,
just,
like,
like, out to get you.
I just can't believe it. I mean, we did the thing too where, like, I asked the bartenders just in case she did drop it, and then I went to track it, and it her location was not updating, and I came back
Mhm.
to I walked up to Casey, and I'm like, "I have terrible news." Like, she is
Yeah.
gone
The
completely.
second the location turns off, you're
Mhm. You
done.
know.
You're never
You
seeing
got
that
got.
bitch again.
She had a work event the next day. Can you guys fucking imagine, like, you're out in DC, we don't even live in DC, like, Casey and I are in Annapolis. She has a work event the next day at Topgolf that she has to drive to from our friend's apartment in DC, and she wakes up, no phone. Like, she had, like, really no anxiety about it either, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd be
it is
losing my
like one of
mind.
those that is really stressful. The work thing, I would be like freaking out,
Mhm.
but like truly I am. Whenever something like that happens, I'm like, this is horrible. Like my car keys were stolen that night.
Oh
Um,
god,
oh,
yeah.
it was like not a nice bag, but I had like a nice wallet, like a Louis Vuitton wallet that I. It was like the first designer thing I ever. I mean, I don't even buy a designer. It's probably the only like
Mhm.
designer like little thing I've bought when I was in Paris, and yeah, that was gone, but it really is just like, "Oh, thank God I'm, like, alive and nothing, like, horrible happened." Like, it's just shit, but
Yeah. It is literally stuff, I guess. It
the
just
only
makes your
I
life
did just remember,
miserable
yeah, it
for
really
a
does
couple days.
complicate things, yeah. The most recent time I got hit on, I just remembered, and I'm putting this out there, this guy freaked me out. This car like, I had my AirPod Maxes on, but on transparency, and I was walking home from the gym, and this car, like, drove by and, like, yelled something at me, and, like so I just, like, pretended not to hear, but, like, I did hear it, and then, like, I keep walking. He loops back around, and I'm, like, pretty this is it's been a couple minutes, so he's, like, following me, loops
Yeah.
back around, and then pulls up to me, and he's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Pardon
Oh, that
me?"
is so scary.
Yeah, I mean yeah, and I was, like, close to home too, it was horrible. I was like, "Hello," and he's like, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Shit." And I was like, "Shit, I feel horrible." But it was like it like wasn't a bad interaction. He was just like, "All right." And I was like, "Okay."
I
Like,
mean
"Love you, bye." Which like I guess is fine. And then he drove away. I walked away. Like I didn't actually give him a chance to respond. I was kind of just like, "Yeah, I do." And like put my headphones back on and walked away.
mhm.
But the only thing I didn't like about it is that he followed me in his car.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely, like, a little unsettling when they're like, quicker than you or, like, have a vehicle, like, you can't just easily get away.
And there wasn't
Um
anyone around me either, which I hated.
oh, nightmare scenario, but
But during the
honestly,
day.
like, for a cat call, like, kinda respectful.
I have an interesting relationship with getting catcalled because, like, if I'm in a good mood and I get honked at, I'm kind of like, "Hell yeah." But if I'm in a bad mood, that will, like, piss me off in a way that I cannot describe. And honestly, there's a tasteful way to catcall, and you have to find the balance. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's an ego boost, and sometimes it fills me with a rage where I could, like, really do something horrible and go to jail.
No, it's like one of those things where, like, if you are in a bad mood, you're like, "Fuck all men. Fuck, like, every single one of them. I
Yeah,
never
like,
wanna
I'm a
see another
piece
one
of meat.
again."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's other times you're like, "Damn, like, yeah, the
Like,
validation is
thank you, I
great."
needed that.
Uh-huh, turn my whole day around.
So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but
I mean,
but sometimes.
it's like the same thing with, like, getting, like, hit on at a bar, like, yeah, sure, it's great, but then they get annoying, and then you're like, "Actually, this is terrible." And now I'm scared.
Right.
It's
Now
just
I'm fucking terrified. Like,
it's the
hit on
beauty
me
of
in
being
a
a
way where I
woman.
don't fear for my life, please,
Exactly, which
for once.
weirdly is a fine line.
And it's like 50-50, which is the scary
Yeah,
part.
yeah, terrifying.
Um, okay, you guys, we've been going for a while, and I could talk forever, but I think we have to say our
Mhm,
goodbyes. Love you
mhm.
so much. Hopefully, you're seeing this on video if all goes as planned.
Yay, I hope
So
so.
excited. Our merch came in, which I posted on the Facebook group. I will post the official date that it's going live soon, but it's so cute and I'm so excited. And it's plenty of time to get it before the holidays. It's the perfect gift. And I'm like
Mhm.
genuinely so obsessed with the merch and I would wear it if I had no fucking clue what the podcast was. And if you are listening to this, then you do. So it's the perfect thing to buy for
I know,
yourself or for someone else.
I can't wait for you guys to see it, I can't wait to see what everyone thinks. They're so cute. I'm addicted.
I do love like we talk about things like most people would wait until the merch is ready, but I have to hype it up because like I'm excited, so that's
It
fine.
deserves it, it's fine. We've
Yeah.
been working on it. It's cool. It's fine.
All right. Well, love you guys so much. Thank you for
Mhm.
listening.
Bye, guys.
Bye.